what are the things that we can do until we get our hands on Super Saiyan God?
With this glitch
is absolutely
let's call
broken
it
in Dragon Ball.
Dragon Soul as a whole has been disappointing. I would say things really started taking effect after Beast was released, with all these updates that really didn't do much for the game in terms of its playability. Like really, how many bosses are we going to add into the game to introduce new moves, techniques or forms to fight the same bosses the exact same way? And when there is any semblance of variety, it's often completely negated by the plethora of glitches the devs simply refuse to fix. The grinding isn't the issue, it's what you expect from an MMO. It becomes an issue when the grind becomes mind-numbing repetition. For example, if you was there while I was doing the GM Aura grind streams, then let me know in the comments because you're a real one. I gotta know who you are. But the quickest way to get the GM Aura isn't by doing the insane Broly raid. It's actually by doing the Jera raid. But the grand majority of people, myself included, is not going to go through this process over and over again just to get 2,000 raid crystals to get the GM Aura. First off, it's not entertaining to watch. And second of all, it's more of a punishment than any type of fun. When I say that Dragon Soul is dying, I'm not necessarily referring to the current player count, but rather the general quality, energy and discourse surrounding the game. If you look at the CCU for Dragon Soul, it's been at a steady 2 to 4k during the week, but this player count doesn't accurately represent the player experience. Just like taking any statistic at face value, it lacks context. Ask yourselves, how much is the player count really worth when the players are bored and miserable playing the game, and how much longer you expect them to stick around? But maybe you could argue that that's only the case for the end game players. I want to start off by saying that I'm in a weird dichotomy where I see the devs working extremely hard with the Halloween event coming up, Chapter 2, Save Your Soul rework, and smaller but very impactful things Skull has been working on. Like now you can open 15 fragments at the same time and it clearly displays all of the fragments that you open. He also added extra detail in the trading menu to prevent scams from taking place, and on top of that reworked how the servers work. I'm not gonna lie, Skull, you've been cooking. But at the end of the day, I'm a content creator. But before anything else, I'm just an average Dragon Soul player. Now let's be honest, Dragon Soul has been in its demo phase for almost 4 years. And while that might sound like an extremely long amount of time, it's important to recognize just how ambitious this project really is. We're talking about a game that aims to deliver multiple planets, different forms, techniques, and races. The list really does go on. The sheer scope of what Dragon Soul is trying to achieve is massive, and that vision, integrated with its already impressive quality, is exactly what keeps players coming back with every single new update. A lot of people point to the production speed as the main problem, and sure, that's a valid concern, but that's only scratching the surface. There are deeper issues affecting gameplay and overall player experience that rarely get addressed, and if we really want to see Dragon Soul reach its full potential, then we need to start talking about all of it, not just the pace of development, but the foundational elements that make or break the experience. To put it simply, Dragon Soul is just boring. And sure, you could argue that this opinion mostly comes from the endgame players, but I say that this sentiment is shared throughout the entire progression, which are filled with glitches and some of the most painfully dull grinding I've ever experienced. Oh,
yeah, it skips that.
Yeah, I'm glitched. I can't move.
You just skipped the cutscene.
Why is my screen flickering black? What?
I don't know.
What is going on, Bami? What is going on?
What did you do?
What's going on? The other world is a breeding ground for bugs and glitches. If a new player was in my position, they would have had to fly 3,000 meters back to King Yama, then another 2 kilometers back to King Kai. So honestly, could you blame anyone for Alt F4ing if something like that happens? There are also plenty of instances where you're forced to fly absurdly far just to kill a few NPCs and then fly all the way back to continue the storyline. The new fast travel update helped with that making certain fast travels free, but let's just be real, it's just a bandage on a bullet wound. And even setting that aside, the story doesn't really get interesting until past the early game, in my opinion. I started playing Dragon Soul about a year ago, around the same time I started this channel. One-shotting bosses and soloing Broly Insane raids weren't as common. You actually had to group together if you wanted to progress. Now, you've got Kaioken times 100.
Keroken Kamehameha, crazy strong souls, the scythe that gives you a 10% boost, the immortal glitch, the Gogeta glitch, the Akari stack, big bang attack glitch, the Hope Soul glitch, the 50% stat boost from Shenron, and whatever Just Vibin is doing right here.
Yeah, I think it will enjoy it. Oh, let's go. I'm done. I'm so done.
I just wanted to cut into the video real quick because they tried to patch the Kaioken times 100 glitch. So you can't do it the normal way, it doesn't work. But people have found other methods, okay? Multiple other methods to do this glitch. It's like letting someone play Minecraft but on creative mode. And then after a week, taking everything they have and then giving them a stone pickaxe and telling them to grind. It's just not gonna happen, bro. People are gonna find new ways to glitch the game. But anyways, here are the new methods. Here's the first one. Activate Kaioken times 100 while in base form, okay? Transform right after your HP drops around 10%. Just before the Kaioken deactivates, okay? Reset, and when you respawn, spam Kaioken. Alright. Spamming Kaioken. Okay. And it works. It actually worked. Wow, bro. And there is like, bro, there's so many different methods. Let me see the other one I saw. So if you die in a raid while activating times 100 Kaioken and quickly press the respawn button, Kaioken won't drain your HP until you switch servers. And just to clarify, if you do the Kaioken glitch, you will not get banned. You will not get banned, okay? There are literal instances where doing the glitch is out of your control, and while you're fighting using the Kaioken times 100, the glitch will just happen. So you will not get banned. And even if doing the glitch was a bannable offense, there would be some type of announcements made by the devs. They wouldn't just shadow ban people. Okay, let's get back to the video now. Those were all the glitches I could think of off the top of my head. And there are probably many more I haven't mentioned. With all of those glitches in mind, plus the power creep, with Kaioken times 100 alone, my power level exceeds any soul. And at a certain point, you don't even need other people to do raids with. And it even incentivizes you to do raids alone. But Dragon Soul was never like this. I think Dragon Soul needs to bring back that sense of connection, because right now there's almost no reason for you to play the game with your friends when most of the things can be done solo. With that being said, the new party system being introduced, this could be the first steps in restoring what made Dragon Soul so special. That feeling of shared accomplishment that brought the community together. Not to mention the new Infinity Bosses raid that has a daily quest that literally forces you to play with your friends. Like, there are literal prompts to send people friend requests if they're not already one of your connections. I genuinely believe that Dragon Soul right now is at the precipice of greatness. Like I said before, there are so many big things that this project aims to achieve that even though I say the game is dying, there's no doubt in my mind that all of this will turn around and Dragon Soul will be able to get back to where it was before. Every point made in this video didn't come from a place of malicious intent, and it's not hate either. Dragon Soul is the game I built this whole channel around, so that should let you know all I want is the best for the game and its devs. And for the future of Dragon Soul, when we do finally get chapter 2, I hope they take all of our souls. Yes, I hope they take your God soul, your beast soul, your savior soul. Take it all. Take it all. I hate souls, and I generally think when souls got added to the game, that's when it started declining, bro. But I think with that take, I'm alone. But it is my birthday. I remember last year when it was my birthday, I think I uploaded the day after my birthday, and I forgot what I said, but I was like, happy late birthday to me, and no one gave me any birthday wishes. It was kind of sad. But maybe things are different now. But hopefully you did enjoy the video. Let me know if you agree with me. If you don't agree with me, tell me why. Let's have a conversation in the comments. And where do you see the future of Dragon Soul in like a year's time or something like that? Please leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe. What else do you need to say? Oh, and it's also my birthday tomorrow. Maybe not tomorrow when you're watching this, but on the 12th. So if you're watching this
you know, around October time, you know, just drop me down a little happy birthday though, you know, happy belated birthdays, you know, something nice for my birthday. Anyways, I'll see you guys later.